G. Volition as a causal factor of homosexuality. Homosexuality is a choice. From Conservapedia. In regards to the issue of homosexuality and choice, given the existence of ex-homosexuals, and given the existence of human cultures where homosexuality has apparently not existed, the position that homosexuality is ultimately a choice in individuals, or at very least can be a choice in individuals, has strong evidential support. In short, there is a strong argument that one can leave homosexuality. Also in 2012, ABC News reported concerning actress Cynthia Nixon. Cynthia Nixon stands by her statement that she is gay by choice, despite the backlash she's received from members of the gay community. In addition, given that the homosexual population has significantly higher rates of many diseases, and the homosexual population also has significantly lower rates of various measures of mental health, it can be strongly argued that engaging in homosexual acts is a bad choice for individuals. Another factor that makes engaging in homosexual acts a bad choice for individuals is the significantly higher rates of domestic violence in homosexual couples. In addition, according to experts, homosexual murders are relatively or quite common, and often homosexual murders are very brutal. Also, the homosexual population has a greater propensity to engage in illegal drug use. A 2003 poll done by Ellison Research of Phoenix, Arizona, stated that 82% of all American Protestant ministers agreed with the statement, homosexuality is a choice people make. They certainly start sentences with also a lot. I guess they didn't pay attention in their English classes. Now let's look at that last statement first. What Protestant ministers think is of no relevance whatsoever. Cynthia Nixon's statement has often been misrepresented. What she meant is that she's bisexual, and she chooses to be with the person she is with, who happens to be another woman. She could have phrased it differently, but who cares? Even if it were literally true, the statement from one person is not something you can make a case out of. I'm sure I can find one person who believes that space aliens walk among us, and that doesn't make that true either. More disturbing are the inflammatory statements about illness and violence. I'm going to talk about the supposed links to violence later, because they bring it up later. They also bring up homosexuality in other cultures later, and I'll talk about that there. They bring up health later too, but I'm only going to talk about that briefly here, so let's look at their references. Oh wait, I can't. There aren't any. To be fair, they cover this under health, but that would take a whole other report and further research, so I'm not going to go over this now. However, they really should put some references in here, but whatever. Suffice it to say, the sources are cherry-picked, some of the references quite old, and others misrepresented. There's also a lack of correlation to disease in heterosexuals. For ex-homosexuals, well, we've got some Bible quotes here. Then there's a claim that people can become ex-gay via the power of God. Quote, Teen Challenge claims a 70% cure rate for drug addicts graduating from their program attracted the attention of the U.S. federal government in 1973. Most secular drug rehabilitation programs only experience a cure rate of 1 to 15% of their graduates. The National Institute on Drug Abuse, part of the U.S. Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, funded the first year of this study to evaluate the long-term results of the Teen Challenge program. Teen Challenge has a number of studies that indicate the high effectiveness of their drug treatment program compared to other programs. Studies indicate that consumers of secular counseling, psychology, or alcoholism receive hardly any benefit at all, unquote. Okay, let's look at their sources. Now you see the first two here, number 51 and 52. They come from the Association of Christian Alcohol and Drug Counselors. I'm not buying it. You can check the links, but there's no equal comparison group for just one of the problems with their data. Then there's 53 and 54. Now these two references actually refer to the same data. The first is an article on a blog site. The second is the actual study being referred to. Are alcoholism treatments effective? The Project Match data, Robert B. Cutler and David Fishbain. Cutler and Fishbain here are examining the data from Project Match, an 8-year study that began in 1989. Cutler and Fishbain, by the way, have a minority view of the results from Project Match. I'll leave a link to the National Institutes of Health report of Project Match's main findings. The purpose of this study was, according to the National Institutes of Health, it was designed to test whether different types of alcoholics respond differently to specific therapeutic approaches. In other words, it was not to test alcoholic treatment in general. Even if a Cutler and Fishbain are correct, that has nothing to do with the inflated Teen Challenge results. Now you're wondering, what in the heck does this have to do with XKs? Not much, really. What they're trying to imply is that Teen Challenge is far superior in treating drug abuse and alcoholism, questionable by their own statistics, and therefore they are just as successful in treating homosexuality, namely using God. This isn't apples and oranges, it's apples and elephants, and the apples are rotten. I wanted to talk about this, however, to show how Conservapedia will throw in anything, including the kitchen sink, into their article saying get their way. Next, I expect them to hold their breath until they turn blue. 5. Anti-homosexuality blogs. They list just a couple. I didn't look into them. Why should I? 6. 2006 survey finds homosexual men seek to become ex-homosexuals, often do so to heal emotional pain over spiritual reasons. Emotional pain over spiritual reasons. Well, that's not surprising, since religion is a source of guilt. 7. Homosexuality in the Bible. Hardly relevant. I mean, really. And again, lots of things are abominations, subject to interpretation. I mean, there are all those passages about slavery. That's not a good reason to deny rights, since even all Christians don't agree on what the Bible says. Biblical city of Sodom, homosexuality, and archaeology. Why is this here? So what if it existed? When they find a tablet saying, God smote us for homosexuality, then I might care. Homosexuality and promiscuity, the usual crap. That was number 9.